Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I can only say that I'm really energized to see the kind of energy that exists amongst the youth in Chennai. And I'm very confident that Anna's fast starting from 16th will be very successful if this is the kind of energy that pervades amongst the youth all over the country. I have come here with a hope and with an expectation. A few days back, I was in Mumbai addressing an organization called Young Entrepreneurs Association, which was basically the children of almost the who's who in Indian industry. There was no speech. I started by asking one question, that how many of you are with Anna's Lokpal Bill? And many hands went up. Then I asked how many of you are with government's Lokpal Bill? Only 2 hands went up. Then I said, okay, let's have a question answer session. And I was quite surprised that most of the people in the audience had most basic questions about Anna's Lokpal Bill, which shows that the hearts of most of the people in the country are with Anna. People believe that whatever Anna is saying is right and whatever government is saying is wrong. But they don't really know what Anna is actually saying. They know that there is someone called Anna, a very simple man, very genuine man, a fakir, and who is fighting against corruption, who is fighting for some Lokpal Bill, but they really don't know what that Lokpal Bill is about. So after 1.5 hours of interaction with them, they were completely with us. So when I started my interaction, their hearts were with us. And when we ended the interaction, their heart and mind, both of it was with us. The purpose of today's talk is, I want to share with you some of the confusions that the government, I want to clear some of the confusions that the government has been successful in creating in the minds of the people all across the country. They have thrown words at people, and the government is very good at it. Frankenstein monster, threat to democracy, parallel government, civil society representatives, they are not elected, tyranny of the unelected and unelectable. These words they have thrown at the people very repeatedly, so repeatedly that people are confused now. So the purpose of today's this thing is that I want to share with you what is government's Lokpal, what is it that we are asking for. And if you really believe that what we are asking for is right, then I would really urge you to join this movement with your mind and heart. Why Lokpal Bill? Because despite so much of overwhelming evidence of corruption against so many people out in public domain, there is no chance of anyone going to jail. There is no chance of anyone being punished. You would say that already Kalmadi is in jail, Raja is in jail. They are all in jail only because Supreme Court is monitoring all these investigations. Otherwise, CBI on its own would never have taken any action in any of these cases. All our anti-corruption agencies are compromised. Some very well-educated people believe कि कानून से क्या होगा? What can a law do? They are wrong. Laws are extremely important. Myself, Kiran Bedi, Justice Santosh Hegde, Prashant Bhushan and Shanti Bhushan. We studied all the anti-corruption laws in the last 6 months, and we concluded that our entire anti-corruption system is completely rotten. It is full of internal contradictions. I'll give you an example. CBI, before filing any FIR, before registering a case, before starting any investigation, any case, has to take permission from the same people who are accused in that case. It has to take permission from the minister of that particular department. So in National Highways Authority of India, there was an additional secretary level officer. He was raided by CBI. There was huge amount of unaccounted cash that was found in his house. But CBI could not register an FIR because they needed permission from Kamal Nath, who was the minister in charge. And obviously Kamal Nath did not give permission to register an FIR. despite the fact that so much of unaccounted cash was found in his house. This is the kind of system that we have, where we have CBI, which has the powers, but it does not have, it is not independent, and it has to take permission from the very same people who are accused in most of these cases. Second, we have CVC, Central Vigilance Commission, who has a total staff of 232 people, and it has to investigate corruption in 1,500 government departments, almost 40 lakh government employees. It cannot do that. And it is advisory in nature. In a few cases that it investigates, it can only make a recommendation to the government. And the government has to take a decision whether to take action in those cases or not. So the former Chief Vigilance Commissioner, Mr. Pratyush Sinha, I was talking to him once, and I asked him, sir, in the last 5 years of your tenure, in how many cases did the government accept your recommendation? And he said that whenever I asked for prosecution of that officer, that is whenever he felt that officer ought to go to jail, the recommendation was not accepted even in a single case. Whenever he recommended that the officer should be dismissed from the job, the officers were let off with a warning. So as Mr. N. Vittal used to always say, that corruption is a high profit, zero risk business in our country. And that is the reason that we have so much of corruption. We have multiplicity of agencies, but we do not have even a single agency which is empowered and which is independent of the government. Is there a way out? Yes, there is a way out. In Hong Kong, in 1970s, there was so much of corruption that there was a collusion between the police and the mafia. The crime went up very high, and lakhs of students came on the streets, which forced the government to set up an independent commission against corruption, ICAC Hong Kong. You can do a Google search and find out about them. ICAC was given complete powers, they were given complete independence, and they were given full resources. The first step that ICAC took was that there are 182 middle-level police officers. There were 182 police officers. They sacked 120 officers out of that. And a message went all across the bureaucracy that now corruption will not be tolerated in the country. And it is only and only because of ICAC. It is only and only because of ICAC that today Hong Kong is one of the most honest places. We want a Lokpal on similar lines. We have borrowed very heavily from many other countries, the best practices from all across the country, the best practices in our country, and we drafted something called Jan Lokpal Bill. We sent a copy of this Jan Lokpal Bill to Prime Minister and to Mrs. Sonia Gandhi on 1st December. We did not get any response. And the letter was signed by none other than Anna Hazare, Sri Ravi Shankar, Swami Ramdev, people of that Kiran Bedi, people of that stature signed that letter. There was no response. There was not even an acknowledgement from either the Prime Minister or Mrs. Sonia Gandhi. After that, we had series of public consultations all across the country on this Jan Lokpal Bill. We got many good suggestions, and 14 versions of Jan Lokpal Bill have already come out till today. We have incorporated all the good suggestions that we have received. We put it on a website. We have received 3,000 suggestions so far on the Jan Lokpal Bill. So it can truly be said to be the Lokpal Bill drafted by the people of this country. From 1st December to 31st March, Anna Hazare wrote a few letters to Mrs. Gandhi seeking an appointment to request her to accept this Jan Lokpal Bill. There was not even an acknowledgement of his letters. We met almost all the political leaders in this country. We met Mr. Advani, Mrs. Sushma Swaraj, Arun Jaitley. We met Pranab Mukherjee. We met Chidambaram Saab. We met Mr. Moily. We met Prakash Karat ji. We met Mr.